Welcome back, friends. Today I am giving the front porch a complete seasonal makeover. We're saying goodbye to the very tired summer hanging baskets, the fall mums that are just beyond gone, and we're going to replace them with some gorgeous shade-loving evergreens that are going to carry us beautifully through Christmas and into winter. So if you're looking for some porch inspiration that's festive and elegant and super low maintenance, then stay tuned. This video is going to be for you. So yes, we are on the front porch. Y'all, can you see those poor little mums behind me in the urns? Are they not just, they're crispy, they're done. So we are saying goodbye to those, and we're going to put in beautiful evergreens that are going to just be gorgeous throughout the entire Christmas season because it is rapidly approaching, and then of course all winter through to spring. So whenever I am ready to replace them with my spring plantings. So I have gathered all of my supplies and we are going to get messy today. This is going to be a situation where, like I tell my kids, sometimes you have to make a mess to make it neat and beautiful. So that definitely applies to today. So let me show you, let's talk about what's sad and tired and that I should have gotten rid of a long time ago. But you know what? There's grace in gardening, and life sometimes just has a way of lifing, and it is what it is. So Jackson just left me because he was helping me take down my hanging baskets. Remember, we have these gorgeous, huge hanging, well, the planters themselves are gorgeous. They're 24 inches. The plants themselves are not so gorgeous. That is because these were the new Surefire Cascade begonias from Proven Winners. And clearly, you know, a 25-degree night will do a number on begonias. So all of the hanging baskets are taken down. We got the irrigation disconnected, so I'll have to put that away. But I do love these hanging baskets, and y'all, they are huge. Got them, of course, from Kinsman Garden Company, but they are 24 inches across, and they make such a beautiful, massive statement here on our front porch. We have 4 of them that go across the front. So we're gonna say goodbye to them. We're gonna get rid of all that soil and put them away for the winter. That way, when spring comes, I can pull them out and plant them up yet once again. So we're gonna do that. Then, of course, the mums, right? So I have 2 mums down on front and 2 mums up in the urns. Nobody is officially planted. Even the ones that are in the urns up here, they're just kind of nestled down into the urns. So it'll be easy peasy to take those out. It's a great little hack, y'all, because there's no need to plant the mums, right? I treat these completely as annuals, but you can see, right, they're still in the nursery pot. And then I still have all the soil in there, and boom, there you go. So we're gonna get rid of those. What we are going to do is we're going to plant these babies. And I do have to remove all of the soil that is in that urn because we're going to put in the Aquapot Light insert, the mini, because the regular one is just a little bit too big for those urns. So we are going to try the minis. These mini inserts are going to what transforms a traditional container into a self-watering container. And so this just makes my life easier because I don't have irrigation on these guys, so I have to hand water them. So we're going to do that. I'll walk you through the whole process, and then we're keeping it simple, sweetie. So what we're going to do in those urns, we're going to put in each urn a sting arborvitae. This is relatively somewhat new from Proven Winners in the last couple of years. This is such a fun one because it gets super tall but super skinny. It can be 15 to 20 feet tall, 1 to 1.5 feet wide, hardy in zones 3 to 8. We actually pulled 3 of these from the nursery because we're going to be using these in a project this time next year or next summer, right? So we have plans for these. It means we're gonna have a big project ahead of us. So we have got, so we were gonna move them up to a bigger container and then grow them out until they were ready for the project. So in the meantime, I'm going to use them in my holiday urns. Now, arborvitaes they do need the sun. And so, but for the winter time, they will be just fine planted in these urns. I don't need them to have a ton of growth. I really just want them to stay exactly how they are. Use them, maybe I'm gonna put some lights on them, we're just going to have some fun with them. So this is going to give me some nice dark green foliage that is nice and vertical and narrow. Then what we're going to do is I have got a tub full of 2 of the Everillo Carex grass. These were both in containers up at the chicken coop. They had outgrown those containers. So I took them apart, sawed them out. You can see, I mean, like literally had to take my hory and saw them out of their container. So we're going to put them in the front. So we're going to have the sting in the back, and then we're going to have the Everillo in the front. So we're going to show you that whole process, give you some tips and tricks on planting up these fall winter containers, how we're going to set them off for success. And then I hopefully have time. I took a little page from Mimi, my mom, and she is, for the past couple of years, they have not gotten a traditional Christmas tree. What she does is she comes down to the nursery and she borrows one of our evergreen trees that, is in a nursery pot, right? So then she takes it home and she puts it, it's on her back porch. They have like a glass window right there that goes into their living room. So she puts it right outside there and then decorates it. So that's her Christmas tree. So that way she doesn't have to like buy a tree, have to worry about it. And it's like not in the house. It's just like right over there. So what I did is we have a gorgeous Forever Goldie that has been hanging out in the nursery. Nobody's bought it, and as you know, as I say, if y'all don't buy it, then it's fair game. So what we're going to do is it's going to hang out here for the winter. We're going to kind of hide the pot. I got some ideas for that. I think we're going to string some lights on the Forever Goldie because I got my outlet right here. Plug it in, and then we will have a little fun, little festive tree right here on the front porch. Now, I'm not going completely to Christmas yet because Thanksgiving is not here yet. So we're going to still keep some fall decorations. We're just moving in that direction, my friends. It doesn't have to be all or one thing. It is okay. And remember, I live out in the middle of nowhere. Ain't nobody seeing my porch except for our family, and our family does not care if we have fall decorations and Christmas going on at the same time. You know what? We all need to be celebrating something, and we all need a little extra joy in our lives these days. So we're just going to embrace it all. So what we're going to do first is I've got to clean up my mess. I've got to empty my hanging baskets. I got to get rid of the mums, and I've got to empty out all of the soil out of these urns. So let's get messy, my friends. As I like to say, it's not gardening until you get dirty. So we are officially gardening now because I am dirty and the porch is dirty, but that's all right. It's going to be beautiful when we are done. So everything got emptied, right? The hanging baskets, I'm telling you, that's a great little tip. Let them dry completely out. One, they are lighter. They're still quite heavy, but then they just dump out super easy. So they were bone dry. Got them emptied. The mums were the same way, got them done, got all the soil out, and y'all, I completely emptied every ounce of soil out of these urns because I want to have as much soil in here as possible. And when you're using the aquapot inserts, even the mini, it's going to take up room. Yes, you're going to have water in here as a supply source for your plants, but the plants also need to have lots of soil for their roots. So the aquapot inserts, they come in 3 sizes. They have the mini, which is 11 inches wide and 7 inches high. then they have the original, and then they have the jumbo. It's all going to depend on your pot as to which insert you want to use. They work fantastically well. I am not worried about leaving these in the urns over the winter. I have overwintered aquapot inserts in other containers, and they've done great. So kind of the rule of thumb is that you want in your container, so imagine that this is about down here somewhere inside the container, okay? So it's down low. You want to have 1/3 of the pot, your container can be the insert, and then 2/3 needs to be soil. So you don't want to have your insert and then just have a little bit of soil on top of it. You need to have plenty of room of soil on top of the insert. Also, as a side note, they've redesigned these a little bit. I don't know if you can see that they have kind of the feet, so it doesn't fit like flat. It stands on the feet because it has these ridges. See how you can see where it has those ridges in it? So the water will overflow and come down that ridge and then drain out. So you don't have to worry about saturating your container. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of first tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm actually going to show it to you. So the insert is in here. Also, as a side note, this mini insert holds 1.5 gallons of water. So it is down in there. I'm going to get my high quality potting soil, and I am going to put some soil in first. If your insert does not fit flush around the inside of the container, don't worry about it. Just put some soil in there. Trust me, the roots will still go down there. So we're going to put some soil in, and then the water, like the tube, where the soil tube goes right here, you want to make sure that soil is in there and pack it down in there. Then at that point, you're just going to plant it like a traditional container. Now, I do have the water spigot here, and so I like to take the blue flower off because I don't want the blue flower showing in my plants. And you can adjust this. It's like kind of like telescoping, so you can adjust what size you want it. So I'm going to get it nice and filled with soil. I would recommend before you put soil in it, know where you want your water spout. So, I would not think you would probably want it straight in front. I like to make it off just a little bit to the left-hand side because my hose is to my left. So I like to do it off just at a little bit. And then also it can be hiding behind the stinging arborvitae. So we're going to get the planted using that high quality potting soil, of course using the biotone, and just having some fun getting these planted up. So come with me as we get these planted. All right, my friends, so I got the 2 urns planted and watered, and I underestimated how big these Evergreen are, but hey, they're gorgeous. So let me give you a little peek and just kind of walk through what we did. So they got the stings in there. They're cute, right? They're cute little guys. You've got that gorgeous Evergreen in there, and it was quite tight actually getting the 3-gallon sting arborvitae in there with the carex, but I managed and I got it done. I ended up leaving the little blue flower on just because that way I can push it down, and it's like, see, it's just easy. It's telescoping, so if I had taken this off, then I might have actually lost, quote, the water tube down there. So now it just sits there, and honestly, from a distance, nobody's going to know, and if anybody sees it, they're like, oh, well, that's a cute little flower. So it's fine. I always top dress my containers with mulch. 1, it makes it look pretty. 2, it helps retain the moisture. It insulates. the plants just really do enjoy it. So there you go on those guys. And yeah, so this one looks very much the same. All those same characteristics in there. And so they've got them nice and well watered, got the porch cleaned off because it was a mess. I think what I'm going to do is I have some Christmas lights. I ordered Christmas lights, and I really do want to go ahead and put some lights on the stings. So we're going to put some lights on those. And then I did have the Forever Goldie right here, but having the Forever Goldie being so nice and big next to the little sting, like it just looked weird. So I actually moved it down here. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to kind of put it on this corner, because my plan is to, now probably won't happen today, or if it does, it'll be later today, is that I have enough lights. I'm going to string the Electra Blue Deodora Cedar and have fun with that. And so I'm going to put lights on that one for Christmas, and then go ahead right now and I've got the burlap bags left over from Unique Stone with that red ribbon. So we're going to kind of disguise the black pot and then put some lights on that. So that way I'll have to like stand outside on the pathway to make sure it's in kind of the right spot. But here on the corner, that way we can see it from inside the house. You can see it from kind of from all angles. So that is the plan. So that is what we are going to do next. So that is my goal for today, is to put lights on the stings and then the Forever Goldie. Get that squared away as well. So now we are transitioning from fall and getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're gonna slide on in to do a little Christmas decorating with some sparkly lights. I think white sparkly lights are always appropriate, right? They don't have to be just Christmas. We all enjoy sparkly lights. So we're just gonna fast forward a little bit on the sparkly lights here pre-Thanksgiving. Today's project is complete for today. The Christmas decorating will continue as the days go on, but just getting everything refreshed, getting those beautiful evergreen containers put together. It's going to take me through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all the way into spring. It is going to be fantastic. Having that nice color contrast, texture contrast, all the things. Very excited to see how all that is coming about. Now, we got the, Jerry was up here helping me, and so I've got one sting and the Forever Goldie is lit up. We are searching for another extension cord to get the second sting plugged in. So we're working. You know, it's kind of hard to get all your supplies that round the first time. So got some lights on there, you know, just cutie patootie, nothing spectacular, but just a little pop of festiveness right there. And then with the Forever Goldie, all I did was, keeping it simple, right? That is my motto, is the 2 burlap bags, and then I had that red ribbon. I might cut it, I don't know what I'm gonna do, as it's laying there. And then I got 2 strands on the Forever Goldie. It's a little harder to see with the sunlight, but if I need to add more, I absolutely can add more to them. Great thing about, you know, Christmas lights is the darkness hides all the cords. So it does feel really good to get the mums out of here. The hanging baskets are gone. get the porch cleaned up, get a little bit of a festive color going on right there. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun as we enter into this holiday season. So don't be afraid to use trees and perennials in your containers, especially in the winter time, because you're not going to have a ton of like massive growth. You're not going to have those high temperatures. So the plants will do really well in the containers. You can leave them in the containers as long as it's easy to water. If you start to notice you just cannot keep enough water on those containers, then that is your sign that you need to go ahead and get them out of the container and either put them into a larger container or put them into the ground. But as long as they stay nice and damp, moist, they can hold on to that moisture, they can stay in there for as long as you want it to. I've got perennials and I've got a tree in an aquapot that's been in there for like 3 years now. So it absolutely can be done. So hopefully you just gotta think a little bit outside the box sometimes with your containers, especially maybe if you're in some cooler zones where you don't get to have the pansies and the violas like we do here in the South. So as always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, inspirational. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.